Step into any mall in the early 2000s, and you'd likely find a crowd of teens flocking to a distinct storefront, marked by its dim lighting and the unmistakable scent wafting through the air. This was Hollister. More than just a clothing store, it was a symbol, a statement. With its unique California beach-inspired theme, it didn't just sell apparel. It sold an experience, a taste of an aspirational lifestyle that captivated young people nationwide. But as quickly as it rose to the heights of teen fashion, Hollister faced a dramatic shift. Today, we are diving into the rise and fall of Hollister, examining how this once dominant brand grappled with changing trends, evolving customer habits, and the unpredictable waves of the retail world. Hollister Co., commonly known as Hollister, embarked on its journey in the year 2000. Marking the beginning of a new chapter in teen fashion. It emerged not as a standalone entity, but as an offspring of the already established Abercrombie & Fitch, a brand with its own deep roots in American clothing retail. With the intention of capturing a younger, more diverse market, Hollister was positioned as a brand that represented the adventurous spirit and laid-back lifestyle of Southern California. From its inception, Hollister was envisioned to be more than just a clothing line. Its brand concept was unique and compelling. It aimed to embody the vibrant essence of the SoCal surf culture, appealing to teenagers who sought both style and a sense of belonging to a desirable, aspirational world. These clothes were not just garments, they were tickets to a dreamy, sun-kissed Californian beach life. This identity, carefully crafted and promoted, was instrumental in establishing Hollister as a distinctive presence in the highly competitive world of fashion retail. The essence of laid-back, sun-kissed beaches was woven into every aspect of their clothing line, which predominantly featured casual wear like denim, graphic tees, and flip-flops, all bearing a distinct surf-inspired theme. The color palette echoed the coastal landscape with blues, greens, and sandy beiges, often brightened with summery tones and floral patterns. Understanding the teenage market was pivotal for Hollister. This demographic saw a sense of identity and belonging, which Hollister provided with its portrayal of this aspirational lifestyle, characterized by an eternal summer and a carefree beach party ethos. The design of Hollister stores was a significant draw for customers. The stores exuded an air of exclusivity and intrigue. Inside, the theme continued with surf shop-like decorations, including wooden boardwalks, palm trees, and surfboards, all contributing to that coastal atmosphere. The in-store ambiance at Hollister was meticulously crafted to engage the senses. The stores were known for their signature fragrance that filled the space and became synonymous with the brand. The lighting was deliberately kept low, creating a relaxed and intimate environment reminiscent of a beach at sunset. Even the soundtracks were carefully curated, featuring contemporary upbeat music and occasionally the sounds of waves and seagulls, further immersing customers in a beach-themed experience. A key aspect of Hollister's branding strategy was the use of young, attractive models as store associates. And these individuals were the embodiment of the brand's image, often fitting the idealized Californian surfer archetype. From what I understand, the manager would come to you as a shopper and offer you an interview if you had this look. That's what happened to a few of my friends in high school anyway. Californian beach babe employees significantly enhanced the customer experience. Of course, this did not stop in-store. In its advertising and promotions, Hollister consistently featured these youthful, vibrant models, projecting an image of attractiveness and coolness that strongly appealed to their teenage target audience. Hollister's marketing strategies were subtle but very impactful. The brand relied on word of mouth and the unique appeal of its store and its products, rather than conventional advertising. And that was genius because this tapped into the social influence among teenagers. As we know, trends in this age group are often dictated by peer dynamics, a fact that Hollister leveraged to its advantage. Hollister experienced its zenith in business during the mid to late 2000s, a success intricately tied to the cultural landscape of the time, specifically the immense popularity of television shows like Laguna Beach and The OC among teenagers and young adults. This period, roughly spanning from 2004 to 2008, marked the height of these shows' influence, coinciding with Hollister's surge in sales and popularity. These shows glamorized the Southern California lifestyle, depicting a world filled with sun-soaked beaches, affluence, and captivating teen drama. Most importantly, the fashion trends depicted in these shows mirrored Hollister's clothing style. As young viewers idolized the characters and their lifestyles, they naturally gravitated towards brands that offered a slice of this aspirational world, with Hollister being a prime choice. Additionally, while not heavily relying on direct celebrity endorsements, Hollister benefited from being associated with celebrities who epitomized the Southern California look. The early to mid-2000s also marked the peak of mall culture in America, with teenagers frequently congregating in these social hubs, making Hollister's prominent mall locations a hotspot for this demographic. During these years, Hollister saw a notable increase in sales and rapid expansion in the number of stores, both domestically and internationally. As I mentioned, Hollister is a subsidiary of Abercrombie & Fitch, but Hollister was actually cited as the stronger performer in comparison to its parent company's other brands. This growth was not just in sheer number of stores, but also in their size and location, with Hollister securing prime spaces in major malls and shopping areas, reflecting its popularity and market strength. Internationally, Hollister also expanded its presence, opening stores in key global markets. This international expansion was not only indicative of the brand's growth, but also of its widespread appeal and recognition beyond the United States. During its heyday, Hollister consistently appeared in surveys and market studies as one of the most popular brands among teenagers, a testament to its strong brand value and the effectiveness of its positioning in the fashion retail industry. After tracing Hollister's impressive rise and its successful capture of the teenage market, it is time to switch gears. We now enter a different phase in the brand's journey, where the tides, pun intended, began to turn. So in our timeline, we are at, we'll call it the first signs of trouble, a period marked by not growth, but emerging challenges that hinted at the brand's forthcoming struggles. And here we will see how changing market dynamics, evolving consumer preferences, and internal business decisions started to reshape the future of Hollister. One of the primary issues arising from Hollister's rapid expansion was market saturation. As the brand opened more stores, its presence became increasingly ubiquitous. This widespread availability led to a dilution of Hollister's exclusivity and allure. In the fashion industry, where uniqueness and trendiness are vital, being too accessible can diminish a brand's appeal. Customers who once viewed Hollister as a special destination might have begun to see it as just another retail option, lessening the brand's ability to attract and retain its target demographic. With the expansion came significantly increased operational costs. More stores mean higher expenses, including staffing, rent, utilities, maintenance, as well as inventory management. This growth in overheads was manageable when Hollister was at its peak, but as the market became oversaturated and the revenue per store declined, these costs began to strain the brand's profitability. The balance between expanding the brand's reach and maintaining maintaining healthy profit margins became increasingly difficult to manage. As the late 2000s and early 2010s unfolded, Hollister began to feel the impact of significant shifts in teen fashion preferences. These changes marked a departure from the singular aesthetic that had once been the brand's stronghold, and signified a broader transformation in the fashion landscape. This diversification meant that a brand like Hollister, which focused on a specific aesthetic, risked losing its appeal as young consumers sought more varied fashion choices. Concurrently, the rise of fast fashion significantly altered the fashion retail landscape. Brands like H&M, Zara, and Forever 21 gained popularity by offering trendy clothing at lower prices, with quick turnovers for new styles. This fast-paced, ever-changing fashion environment enabled teenagers to frequently update their wardrobes with a diverse array of contemporary styles. As a result, the appeal of Hollister's consistent and thematic clothing line diminished, with teens gravitating towards fashion brands that offered a wider variety. They wanted a range of fashion choices, and this fell in line with the rapidly evolving trends. Additionally, of course, the growth of social media became a powerful force in shaping teens' fashion preferences. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok became the new runways, showcasing an endless amount of fashion influencers, trends, and styles. These digital platforms provided a constant stream of fashion inspiration, often highlighting personalized and varied fashion statements. This shift towards digital fashion trends further eroded the appeal of a uniform style, which, as I mentioned, was a hallmark of Hollister's offerings. The late 2000s were marked by significant economic factors that further impacted Hollister's performance. Most notably, the global financial crisis that occurred between 2007 and 2008. This period of economic downturn had widespread effects on consumer spending, especially in the retail sector, and Hollister was not immune to these changes. The global financial crisis led to more cautious spending behavior among consumers, and this change yet again favored fast fashion brands. As a result, Hollister's pricing strategy, which had once seemed reasonable for its target market, began to appear less attractive in the context of a strained economy. As a brand that had built its identity around a specific store experience and lifestyle image, Hollister found it challenging to adapt to these rapidly evolving retail dynamics. As Hollister navigated through the late 2000s into the early 2010s, the brand faced a significant downturn in sales due to all of the various challenges I've mentioned. As a direct consequence of the falling sales, Hollister was compelled to close numerous stores across various locations. These closures were a significant shift from the brand's previous strategy of aggressive expansion. The once bustling stores known for their distinctive ambiance and appeal to young shoppers began to disappear from malls and shopping centers, indicative of the brand's waning popularity. The store closures also had financial implications for Hollister and its parent company, Abercrombie & Fitch. They resulted in a loss of jobs and added to the financial strain of the company. The need to close stores was a clear indicator that the brand's business model, heavily reliant on physical retail spaces and a specific lifestyle image, was struggling to adapt to the rapidly changing retail landscape. During this time, online shopping emerged as a dominant force, offering unmatched convenience and a broader selection of products. This mode of shopping was especially appealing to the younger generation, who were increasingly tech-savvy and preferred the ease of online transactions. E-commerce platforms not only provided a wider variety, but also competitive pricing and deals, making them more attractive than traditional retail stores. For Hollister specifically, creating the same distinctive sensory and visual experience customers had in-store was difficult, if not impossible, to replicate online. And with dwindling mall traffic, Hollister's ability to attract and engage its target audience through its physical stores was greatly compromised. Hollister has embarked on several initiatives aimed at reviving the brand in response to the changing retail landscape and evolving consumer preferences. These efforts ranged from updates to marketing strategies, store redesigns, and expansions in product lines. In terms of marketing, Hollister significantly ramped up its digital and social media presence, recognizing the pivotal role these platforms play in reaching today's youth. Additionally, Hollister embraced influencer marketing, collaborating with popular content creators. This strategy aimed to boost brand visibility and appeal to a younger audience that values authenticity and relatability. Furthermore, responding to past criticisms, Hollister's marketing campaigns began to focus more on inclusivity and diversity, featuring models and brand ambassadors from a wide range of backgrounds. On the product front, Hollister expanded its range to include a more diverse array of styles, moving beyond its traditional Southern California-inspired apparel. This expansion was aimed at appealing to a broader spectrum of fashion tastes and trends. Additionally, aligning with growing consumer environmental consciousness, Hollister introduced clothing lines made from sustainable materials, signaling a shift towards more eco-friendly practices. Hollister's story in the fashion industry is a classic rise and fall narrative. As of now, Hollister is in a phase of evaluation and adaptation, and while it still holds a place in the fashion market, its position is definitely not as dominant as it once was. And the brand itself faces stiff competition with existing retailers and emerging retailers. The fashion industry has always been characterized by its dynamic and ever-evolving nature, a landscape where trends come and go with the seasons. However, in recent years, the pace of change in fashion has accelerated exponentially. This rapid evolution and diversification in fashion trends presents a significant challenge to brands like Hollister, which again once thrived on a distinct and singular aesthetic. Hollister's struggle to adapt during the initial phase of this trend acceleration raises concerns and questions about how it will adapt to this now rapid pace. And for Hollister to regain relevancy, it needs to embrace this new reality of fashion. A potential strategy, and I'm no marketing guru, I feel like this is just, common sense. I'm thinking they should involve more frequent sort of capsule collections. This could be a response to the quickly evolving trends and would also align with the mix and match approach of modern customers. Also, collaborating with up-and-coming designers or artists. Additionally, the most obvious thing, which I'm sure they're doing, to understand and predict shifting consumer preferences, could guide product development. As we conclude our journey through the rise, fall, and potential rebirth of Hollister, we're left to ponder the nature of change in the relentless tides of fashion. Hollister, once a beacon for teen style, now finds itself navigating a vastly different and rapidly evolving fashion landscape. And the question that lingers, well, for me at least, is not just about the future of Hollister, but about the very essence of brand identity in a world where style categories blend and shift at a moment's notice. What does it mean for a brand to stay true to its roots while adapting to the mercurial nature of fashion? How have brands found a balance between maintaining their core identity and embracing the fluidity of modern style trends? And how can a brand like Hollister reinvent themselves to do the same thing? As we watch Hollister's efforts to reinvigorate itself, we're reminded that the fashion industry is a reflection of our changing culture, a canvas where the lines of style are continually redrawn.